All right. And we're live. I love that there's always boobs right next to your head on this stream.
Would you like my fine art to be removed from? Will you be
No,
demonetized?
I think that's one of your best self-portraits, honestly.
Thank you. I do have fantastic titties.
All right. Tone it down.
Family show.
Is that the wrong? I don't understand propriety.
Tina and Malgola, right?
Yeah. Hey, Jana.
Oh, that's what I'm forgetting. I haven't brought up the Twitch stream
Hey, everybody.
so that I can watch myself.
You know, they say the camera adds 15 pounds, but in your case, I think it adds 15% sexiness.
Oh, I was gonna say if I'm watching myself on camera, I got to tell you, it feels more like 30
30 pounds or 30% sexiness?
pounds.
You guys, I'm trying air fryer chicken for the first time. Wish me luck.
Are you taking it out of the air fryer first?
Well, are you gonna take it out of the wrapper?
Good question.
Take the plastic off the chicken. Step one.
You gonna bread that bad boy?
Damn it! No, I did not bread it.
What's even the point? What are we even talking about here? You didn't fry anything. So you cooked some chicken.
In the air fryer.
It's like we have one non-Duncan viewer.
Hey, here's a question I asked all my students this week that I want to ask you all. What's the most delicious shape?
Triangles.
Bold answer.
Allegedly, there are actual studies that show sandwiches that are cut into triangles taste better than sandwiches cut into rectangles.
Allegedly.
I've heard it said, so it must be true. Oh, we're down to one viewer. I managed to scare the one other person away.
Well done.
Didn't take. I got to tell you, didn't take much work. Thought I was gonna have to work harder.
That triangles thing.
Yeah,
It was one of my students,
they're
and they were like,
furious
"This is a
with me.
triangles person. This is fucking bullshit."
Yep. Yeah. How dare you be a fan of triangles? They're the strongest shape.
That's not true.
Strongest natural shape, right?
Are triangles natural?
I thought the sphere was by far the strongest shape.
I mean, how many spheres are there in nature?
We live on one?
I haven't seen it.
It's true.
It's really a spheroid. Right? I don't think it's technically a sphere.
It's really an oblong.
Plus, it doesn't really
spheroid.
count because it's just full of stuff.
It's really more of
you know?
like if you took an egg shape and kind of squashed it down to be a little bit more round.
It'll crack right in your hands.
Almost like some kind of sphere.
It's a horrible idea. It's just going to break.
Yeah.
You're right.
You just get magma all over your fingers.
What the hell conversation did I just jump into?
We're talking about sandwiches.
What's the most delicious shape?
Delicious.
Matt, what's the most delicious shape? Unique New York.
Delicious shape. Like,
Yeah.
what do you guys? Can you give me a context here?
Nope.
No, that is the context.
I gave them no context. I just asked my question.
No, there was the context of you asked students.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I did ask my students that question.
Yeah, that's context.
Okay. I guess I would say, I mean, I don't know, shapes.
You don't know
Egg,
shapes?
eggs Benedict
I've
is
never
really
met
good.
a shape.
I don't know how to say like describe that kind of shape other than it's like an amoebless blob.
I love that you were like, well, our standard for delicious is an eggs Benedict.
So your most delicious shape is amorphous blob?
Yeah.
My God, that might be the best answer I've heard all day, or perhaps all week, I should say.
It encompasses a lot of delicious, different dishes there.
I guess.
Well, think about all the delicious dishes you made in college. A lot of them were amorphous blobs.
Whoa.
I got it.
Well, the premise there was that people make a lot of delicious food in college, which I gotta say is kind of a weak premise.
Yeah, I'm with Bill on this one.
Damn
Well,
it.
you never said how much you've had to drink first.
Oh. The most delicious shape is pizza rolls.
Zach knows a lot about shapes. What kind of shape is a
Pat
tube?
envelopes.
There's a tube.
Yeah, like a roll. You make it like a roll something up and it forms like a tube shape.
Like a burrito?
Yeah.
I mean,
Is it a cylinder?
it's like a cylinderoid. Again, it's not going to be
Cylinderoid. You watch your mouth.
perfect.
All right, this is everybody. I thought there'd be more students on. A lot of them seem really excited, but there aren't, so
They're all watching football.
they probably are. Definitely not, actually. What am I talking about? Anyway, however, what we should do first is make sure that everybody can actually communicate. 'Cause it seems like Janet's having some connection problems. Janet, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
We can hear you too.
Yeah, that's good.
Great.
That's important.
Glad to hear it.
All right, I trust that you and Matt will turn your cameras on when able. In the meantime, who wants to do recap this week?
I'll start, and anyone jump in if they feel like I'm missing anything. Please do me that favor of jumping in if you feel like I missed something, or if you feel like my perspective is too singular to myself. So we picked up on the beach after we had disenchanted 4-7 back into her dragon form. She is a youngish silver dragon. Dirk did an excellent job consoling her and kind of walking her through her first moments of memory as a dragon in
Got a lot of
dragon form.
experience with trauma.
Yeah. Let's see. 4-7 was able to tell us that she remembered the tender who was in charge of all of the servants. Faylee was the name. She's a human. We managed to get 4-7 to try to fly a few times, but a few of us, Galatus and Owen specifically, noticed that she was very malnourished and exhausted looking. 4-7 drew us a map of the compound where she had been kept, and she shared that there's a secret escape entrance small enough for a human to crawl through at the rear. We went to dinner. Dirk and I, we got into it. About the way I wrote it is about Dirk's outburst in Qualinesti, which is not actually the name of the capital. Qualinost, I think, is the name of the capital of Qualinesti. Ezra went to bed angry. Never go to bed angry. Weaver, Warm Toe, Jessman, Huginda, and Kigan. These are other kings and queens that Zerwin has met in the helm. Sorry, this is an aside apparently in my notes. Overnight, Owen got a visit from his sister. It was very moving. Excellent role play. If you happen to be watching the stream, which once again nobody except me is, I really recommend going back and watching last time's episode,
That
session
part
26.
was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was a wonderful role play. No jokes about it. It was very well done. They're incredible actors, both of them. Performers, actors, role players, Dungeons and Dragoneers.
All right.
All right. We then headed off to Thorbarden, the hour before sunrise, because we have to go in either around before sunrise or after sunset. That's when the guards change. It's a massive dwarven city inside of a mountain. Zerwin put on the crown again, and wouldn't you know it, something bad happened. It was Quentin, and Quentin basically exerted force over Zerwin. And we learned that Quentin wanted to burn the whole city down. We also learned that Quentin and Helginda do not get along. Helginda being one of the other former leaders, dwarven leaders that Zerwin had spoken to.
So Quentin killed his own sister,
Yes.
who we believe is also in the crown. Helginda was her daughter.
Yeah.
And Helginda was also betrayed by demons, or by her husband.
2 demons, correct?
2 demons, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long line of women getting treated really poorly.
Yeah.
Which, is mostly history anyway.
At some point, we learned that Quentin and Dernela, who are siblings, are the 2 leaders in the helm who should be avoided. So yes, that's a good catch, Zerwin. Dernela, Helginda's mom, is also in the crown. Let's see. I was going to read the names of the current leaders in Thorbarden. So Grim Coldhammer is the sovereign, but his daughters are the ones who make decisions. Their names are Malgola and Thela. We made a choice to visit Grim first, and he was in his like main throne chamber, playing with one of his grandchildren, or maybe his only grandchild. Zerwin and I went in and spoke to him. And one of the things that we learned there, which I didn't write down, is we got a little bit more information about who Zerwin's relation inside the crown might be. Zerwin, do you remember who it was?
Well, Helginda's last name is my last name.
That's it,
Forge.
Helginda.
It's actually a little different. Your name
Yeah.
is Grumple Forge.
Grumple. Hers is Grumble with a B.
Grumple Forge and Grumble, right?
Yeah.
So Zerwin Grumble Forge.
Nope. Zerwin is Grumple, and she is Grumble.
Sorry, I meant Grumple. I said Grumble. I really. Helginda Grumble, capital B, Forge. All right. Yeah, and he said that he doesn't make decisions anymore, and he sent us to see his daughters, and I believe that's effectively where we wrapped up.
I think you had left his chambers, and you had said that you were going to go try to find Thela first, or Thena first, but you hadn't got there yet. I think it's the last thing that you indicated you were going to do.
We talked a lot about trying to come up with some kind of safe word or safe term in case Zerwin is captivated by another one of the dwarven lords, and we had said that the safe term would be "I'm fine," while waving a red flag. So we also learned a little bit more about
going.
Yeah, Quentin Sharppick. He buried a pick into the skull of his sister. You may remember her name is or was Dernela. Yeah, cool. I think that covers everything. Sorry, I got a little all over the place at the end.
That was pretty good. Well done.
It was great.
Yeah. So you're standing outside the king's main hall, right? It's the king's feast hall, and the double doors have just closed. If you can go back down the stairs to the main level, or you can go to your left down a hallway, or you can go to your right down a hallway, or you can go back down the stairs where there's In front of you, there's an open balcony that looks out into the main level, or you can go left or right down either hallway. If you recall, they said Thena was to your left and Malgola was to your right. Dwarves are, it's day. The palace is, not like crammed with people, but it's bustling. There are couriers and, what you assume are noblemen and women, um, soldiers. It doesn't have the same sort of like pomposity that the sort of elven halls of power do. It seems a lot more, we got to get shit done kind of thing. But there are certainly dwarves here who give your motley crew a less than kind look. You are attracting some attention.
And I was able to get the crown off at the end, right?
Yeah, that was one of the last
So
things
we
that
said-
happened. Yeah,
Okay.
They said Thena was left, right?
that's what you were told.
We should go that way.
Okay.
Do you think that maybe we should not put the helmet on before we go in this time? What do you think?
Okay.
Phillips? Well, I mean, you have some agency in this decision too.
Let's go talk with this one. I'll leave it off for now.
Okay. You could maybe carry it so that you feel a little, you'll look a little bit more grand if you're carrying it, even if it's not on your head.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to me that nobody has asked me for it yet, but
That is pretty strange. Because, I mean, Bill, it's pretty distinctive, right?
I mean,
I would assume dwarven royalty would recognize it. There's got to be depictions in this place somewhere.
And it's only been gone was it gone? It's been missing for like 100 years. Is that right?
no, it's been missing for much longer than that.
Okay. Then maybe nobody would recognize it.
Hmm.
All right.
Hey, Zerwin, can I have the crown?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right, on to Thena.
Okay, you sort of walk around the upper level. What the hell do they call that? Where there's like
A mezzanine?
Yeah, is it a mezzanine or a...
Thank you. You walk around the upper level of the mezzanine to the left hallway. When you're walking down the left hallway, you see at the end of the hallway a door opens and a what is clearly dwarven royalty woman walks out. She has her hair in 2 long braids. It is a regular brownish color. She has a she looks like a warrior princess. She's wearing armor that is gilded and has like a stern look on her face. And she closes the door behind her and starts walking down the hallway.
toward us,
I mean,
but
yeah,
like ignoring us?
I mean, she notices you, but she doesn't say anything.
Ezra clears his throat. Does she stop or look at us?
She looks at you.
I elbow Zerwin.
Uh,
Are you
may
Thena?
we presume that you are Lady Thena, as my compatriot Zerwin just said?
Can I help you?
If you're Thena, you can.
Well, I did just come out of Thena's office.
We just
Yes.
came from the king's chambers. I'm not the king.
I'm very busy. How can I help you?
We're hoping to speak to you on behalf of the City of Wonder. My colleague here motions to Zerwin, is the Lord Protector of the City of Wonder, and we're here on a mission of grave importance to speak to the leadership of the City of Thorbarden.
Okay. Can you walk and talk at the same time?
Certainly.
Go ahead. Wonder's the little mining town, right?
Yeah, it's been in existence for about 50 years. It's one of its most prominent
You can
reasons
skip
for
the history
being.
lesson. Go on.
So it's a dragon metal mine. Big reason for it. And there is a
She's
red
walking you
dragon.
down the hallway back the direction you came.
There's a red dragon of some repute. His name is Rhymroth. He is planning on using an army of draconians to take the city, sack it, and then use the dragon metal mine to create weapons of war, war machines. And we believe from there he will probably march on Thorbarden. We're hoping to gain allies to prevent that from happening.
Uh-huh. She stops. She looks you all over. This is serious, isn't it?
We think so.
And you came here for troops.
Yes. To put it as briefly as possible. Yes.
Well, you better call a council meeting.
How quickly can you do that?
Well, I could do it right now. You finished, you've got to the end of the hallway at this point. And she turns to one of the guards that's there and she says, Flynn, summon the council, please. Tell them there's an emergency meeting. The guard snaps to attention, salutes, and marches off. I'm sorry. Who did you say you all were? Names, please?
My comrade Zerwin is the Lord Protector of the City of Wonder. My name is Ezra. These are our colleagues, Gelidus, Dirk, Owen, and Jana. Is that everyone? That's everyone, right?
Are any of you actually from Wonder?
No, Speaker Shola from the Radiant Citadel on another plane, on the astral plane, sent us to try to help save the city.
All right. Come on. She starts walking, and instead of she walks down the stairs of the mezzanine back to the sort of main floor. As you're walking, she continues to ask you more questions. So technically, my sister has to be at any of the meetings in order to have them ratified. However, I'm not going to tell her this meeting exists. I'm going to wait till she finds it on her own. Hopefully that gives me time to do some convincing to the council before she gets there. Then she'll have a hard time undoing any of the things that I've already done, which is her favorite thing to do.
You and your sister don't get along, don't see eye to eye on how to lead your people.
We do not, but that's neither here nor there. I'd like to ask a couple more questions. Yes?
Yeah. What are you gonna try to do with the council?
Well, it sounds like you need help, but I have some more questions here.
Yep.
Great.
This speaker Shola you speak of, I'm not familiar with her. You said she's on another plane?
Yes.
Is she someone, did she rule a city, or is she a dwarf?
Neither. She, Ezra will talk a little bit about Speaker Shola. What a time to wish that there was a little bit more about Speaker Shola in the DM notes.
She's a very influential and powerful woman who is in service of maintaining peace throughout many realms.
Another plane of existence, you said. What plane is that?
The astral plane. I'm right. Am I correct? I'm wrong. Apparently I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
Okay. The astral plane. There's this.
She stops. The astral plane doesn't have any kingdoms. It's ethereal astralness.
So within the astral plane, there is a vast gemstone on which the Radiant Citadel has been built. And that gemstone is kind of at a convergence of ley lines. There's a lot of magic and weave associated with it. And Speaker Shola is one of the individuals that's in charge of protecting that.
Why does she care about what happens in a little tiny mining town in the middle of the mountains?
I think dragon metal's important. I think that there might be a reason to try to keep this particular Rhymeroth guy from getting it and getting more powerful.
Aye, dragon metal's important. We have our own dragon metal mines. It's true. It's rare and it's hard to mine.
There's a bunch of it in Wonder.
How many people live in Wonder? You know what? Doesn't matter. How many capable soldiers do you have right now?
Very few. The city itself has 60, and Bill, please step in if I'm misremembering, or somebody please step in if I'm misremembering. 60 guards. There are maybe 400 combat capable people, and we've been able to find approximately 100 additional troops to join and aid us.
So you're
And
at about 600 troops?
Something like that. Yeah.
That's a generous assessment. It's probably a little under that.
And how
and
many
they're
Draconians?
a little under 2,000. Their strength was, we believe, at 2,000, and we've killed about 110 in the last few days.
It's a productive few days.
I
Well,
thought
they got
so as well.
these elves. They've been helping out, so they seem fairly skilled at that, but they're not nearly enough.
It's really dwarven strength that we believe will put it over the top.
Yeah.
She's walked you around the back of the mezzanine stairs where there are another set of double doors. That opens up into a long hallway, and then at the end of that hallway is a final set of double doors, and in there is clearly a meeting chambers, an oval table with several chairs around it. She says, "Please have a seat while I get things ready." One more question. This dragon, you said his name is Rhymeroth?
Yeah.
How old
Yep.
is this red dragon?
He's relatively young for an adult red dragon. A few hundred
years.
Yeah, a few hundred years old. But again, part of what's alarming is how he's been able to gather this force so quickly despite being so young. I think it's possible that part of why Speaker Shola sent us here is because he may be receiving outside help from, again, somewhere outside of this plane.
Have you ever seen this dragon?
Yes.
Yeah.
How big was it?
Ezra shares how big it was.
It's pretty big. Not super big, but pretty big.
Doesn't quite sound like an adult. They named you Lord Protector? She points to you, Zerwin.
I know.
Sorry, she doesn't laugh. But you're not from there.
I'm not.
What happened to Steelbeard? We sent him there a while ago.
Steelbeard was the Lord Protector. We accompanied him to attempt to procure a magical item. When we got to the bottom of the dungeon where that item was, Rhymeroth's brother, who was an undead dragon, was there, and Steelbeard unfortunately died in the ensuing conflict in the battle that followed. After that, the council at Wonder named Zerwin the Lord Protector.
Because he's a dwarf? You know what? Doesn't matter. I'll be back. Please make yourselves comfortable.
Can I? Does it seem like she's being honest? Like she's not just going to leave us here and something bad's going to happen? Can I make an insight? I'm going to attempt to make an insight on her motives. Uno momento, please. I was on the DM notes instead of on my own character sheet like some kind of fool. Amateur hour over here. That's a 20. Dirty 20.
What are you trying to find out? If it seems like a trap?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Is she really calling a council, or is she?
She seems trustworthy.
Happening? Yeah. Does she seem trustworthy? I guess. Is she really? I'm like, is she really calling a council meeting right now?
You think she's really calling a council meeting? Yeah.
Okay.
Do we know what Steelbeard was the one who told us about the crown?
She leaves the room, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking to just us now.
Really quickly, I'm gonna cast Detect Magic and see if there's anything magical in the room.
Nope.
Okay.
What's the radius of it?
I think it's either 10 or 30 feet. 30 feet centered on me. Within 30 feet, so a radius of 30.
Yeah. She was carrying some sort of magic item. But she pops out of your range.
Yeah, and there's nothing else in this room. Other than all of our magical things.
No, actually that's not true. There are wards on the walls and the doors.
Can I discern what kind of wards they are?
Magic ones.
Yeah. The walls and the doors.
Dwarven magic ones.
Would you give me a school of magic?
No. These
Thanks.
are ancient runic wards. And
Right.
they're from a different planet that uses different magic.
You guys look at these runes, they look really old.
Yeah, there are wards on the walls and doors. I can't tell what they are. It's exceedingly ancient.
They're almost certainly protective in nature.
I think they're protective in nature, so we can probably communicate without worry of being overheard. But this feels too easy. Something is bothering me about it.
I mean,
Well, it sounds to me like her sister.
Yeah.
Is the one that may be a problem.
I think she's probably setting us up a little bit. She wants something to fight over with her sister, and so this is going to turn into a fight with her sister, and we're just going to have it out. Do you guys want me to yell at him?
I would ask that you not, please, Dirk.
Because I could yell at him.
I know.
You guys notice a trend here with dwarven siblings not getting along?
Yeah. Is that what you were about to say before I interrupted you, Lord Protector? I apologize on behalf of myself.
That, and do we know why Steelbeard was assigned to Wonder?
I don't recall him saying anything about it.
He was from Thorvarden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just said they sent him.
Yeah, so he probably was put there to keep an eye on things, right?
Prime
Their mining
Delicate
town.
Steelbeard.
Yeah,
I think
Steelbeard.
I think they're going to want this crown.
How do you feel
Probably.
about that?
I don't particularly want to give it up right now, but let's see how this meeting goes. If we can hold back on the crown, I did promise Helginda I would give it to her grandson, great grandson. We know great grandson. When we find him, I was like, and I will do that, but let's just keep this in our back pocket until we find out how this shakes out. Things don't go our way, we can always pull it out later. What do you think?
Can always whip it out later.
Your dong, my crown. We're going to be in business.
Your dong, my crown is a great song name.
Okay. Any other pressing issues? After a few minutes, an elderly dwarf, a long gray beard, maybe the oldest dwarf you've ever seen.
Sorry, one quick question. Am I bigger than all of these dwarves?
I mean, you are exceptionally tall for any dwarf. That was one of your character concepts, right?
I know. I'm just this race. Are they average sized dwarves?
They're all average sized dwarfs, yeah.
Right.
Some are bigger than others, but you haven't seen anyone your height here yet.
Okay.
This really old dwarf comes in, his watery eyes and chippy beard. Hello. He makes his way over to one of the closer chairs, sits down. I'm sorry, would you mind getting me a drink of water? The pitcher's right over there.
Sure. I go over, pour him a glass.
And my detect magic is still going. Is he magic?
No.
Okay.
Thank you. He takes a couple little sips. Yeah, good lad.
Are you a member of the council, sir?
I should certainly hope so. I walked all the way down here from the end of the hallway.
It's a long way. Thank you for coming.
Well,
Can I ask your name?
Yes.
What's your name?
Yeah. I love doing that. Hold on. Yeah, my name is Harmek.
It's nice to meet you, Harmek.
And you? What's your name, lad?
My name's Zerwin Grumpleforged.
Grumpleforge? Do you mean Grumbleforge?
Nope.
Oh.
G-U-R-U-M-P-L-E. Grumple.
I've never heard of your family. You're not from around here, are you?
No, I'm not. But a lovely city you have here.
Yes, it is the jewel of the dwarven kingdoms here. I am the historian. I am a non-voting member, but I can break ties.
Oh.
Mostly I'm here to see what mischief the youngsters are up to and, curse them for imbeciles. And you? Why are you here, young man?
Well, we've come looking for aid to defend the city of Wonder.
There's a city called Wonder?
There is.
I'm not familiar with it.
Well, it's not really a city. It's more of a town.
Got a long and storied history.
It does?
It's been around for about 50 years.
Oh,
So it's relatively young.
Hasn't even made the books yet.
No.
That's why I don't know it. Well, I'm glad the people have someone to look out for them. It is the people who always suffer the most, after all.
Harmek, after the council meeting, would you mind if I came and asked you some questions about dwarven history surrounding Thorbarden?
Not at all. I'd be delighted, young man. In fact,
Excellent.
I'd wish that some of your inquisitiveness would rub off on the rest of the council. The door opens behind him as he's talking. They seem to be interested in very little besides fattening their own purses and guts. And indeed, the person who walks in behind him is a rather rotund dwarf. He has a very dark beard, shot with a streak of white, and a sort of permanent scowl on his face.
Point of order, rotund is the most delicious shape.
Mm-hmm. It's both Eggs Benedict and planet Earth.
That's a pretty good point.
All right. The scowling dwarf comes to sit down, and behind him there is a blonde-haired, blonde-bearded, square-chinned dwarf with a short-kept beard. But the beard being itself is short-kept, but there are two long braids hanging off the chin here and here. The two come and sit down. They sort of scowl. The dark-haired one sort of scowls at you, and he sits. And then the older Harmac leans over and says, "You see what I mean?"
I do.
I
Oh my
kind of,
god.
there are people around, so I kind of leaned down close to him and said, if we have time, I will try to stop over. But we might be pressed for time, so if I don't get a chance, I hope that someday we'll get to sit down and chat.
Oh, well, I hope so too. After those two come in, 4 more dwarves come in of various ages, shapes, and sizes that I don't feel like assigning personalities and names to, so I haven't. But the council is fully assembled at 7, counting Harmac, who is the tiebreaker. Remember?
Well, hold on. The sister's here too.
No, it would be 8 with the sister, correct?
So Thena comes in, and she sits down at the head of the table where there's a seat next to her. And she says, "Okay, we're here to take care of some business from some outsiders who have a proposal for us, I believe. Just to remind everyone of the rules here, no one shall speak out of order. If you do, you will be removed from the meeting hall. You will ask the chair for recognition. That's Harmac. And if he grants it to you, you may speak. Otherwise, you will wait your turn. All votes will be cast today." Harmac sort of steps out and says, "Where is your sister? We don't have everyone here yet." And Thena says, "I can't keep track of what my sister does, but we have a quorum, so I believe we can start." And Harmac says, "Indeed we do. Before we start, though, I would like a snack, please." And
I like snack too.
"You have to wait your turn, or you will be cast out of the meeting hall."
Sorry, how do I request recognition? I just support you.
Athena rolls her eyes and then calls out the door, which hasn't been closed yet, and she says, "Could you please?" And she says, "Come here." Harmac says, "Come here, young man. Come here," to the guard who walks over and stands next to him. And Harmac goes, "Come here." And the guard leans over, and he keeps going until his mouth is right next to his ear. And then Harmac whispers something in his ear, and then sits back and says, "With butter, please." Okay. And the dwarven guard looks around the room and then scurries out and closes the door behind him.
Is my necklace glowing?
No.
Okay.
Harmac says, "Proceed. I believe that Athena said you had a proposition for us. Whom amongst you would like to speak this proposition?"
Ezra will be speaking for us.
"Very well. The chair recognizes Ezra. That's you, is it not, young man?"
Thank you, Chair Harmac. As my colleague, Zerwin, is it your Grumple Forge or which one are you?
With
Grumple.
Yep.
As my colleague, Zerwin Grumpleforge, the Lord Protector of Wonder, introduced me, and as he has mentioned to a few of you so far already, we are here on behalf of the town of Wonder, a town that was founded approximately 50 years ago on a dragon metal mine to the southwest of here. We're here to request aid because a young adult red dragon by the name of Rhymroth has gathered an army of draconians, approximately 2,000 strong. He plans on taking the city, sacking it, and using the dragon metal mine to fashion war machines. We believe once he's fashioned those war machines, he likely will march on Thorbarden next in a war of conquest. We're hoping that we can defeat his army with your help before that happens. We're asking for your help, not just to protect the City of Wonder, but likely to protect yourselves as well.
So you want troops?
Yes, that's the aid that we are asking for.
Okay. Thena raises her hand. The chair recognizes Malgola. And she says, I have some questions that I would like to ask, if we don't mind. Number one, and this is a question for Mr. Hargo. Mr. Hargo, how much dragon metal has Wonder sent us so far? The black-haired dwarf with a silver streak in it says, none. I see. And what about the prices of the gold and silver they've sent to us? Have they been on fair market price? And the black-haired dwarf says, I should think not. They've been highly marked up. Uh-huh. Now I have some questions for the group. I believe you are the Lord Protector, correct, Serwin? What about the dwarves we've already sent there, including Commander Steelbeard? What happened to him?
Steelbeard was killed in a conflict with a bone dragon, Rymroth's brother. We went to search for a magical item that could help protect town, and that's where we encountered the bone dragon, who we slew, but unfortunately Steelbeard was killed in the fighting.
So, the commander we've sent there has already been slain. I can only imagine what happened to the rest of the forces that went with him. Also, this is a question for you, Harmech. Is it true that where Wonder sits now was already within the realms of the Thorbarden Kingdom? Well, I believe that the old maps would indicate that it is on the border, what we would call the lawless space between us and the free peoples of the South. But the mine itself is under our grounds. Aha. And have we signed any treaties with them? No. Have they paid any tribute? No. So, this city, which has sent us no dragon metal, which has sent us gold and silver at a highly marked up price, which has already slain one of our commanders, which has asked no permission, signed no treaties, given no tribute, has already wasted some of our forces, flaunted our laws and our customs, and is giving us nothing, now wants our help to defeat a draconian army. That about sums up the position. Am I correct? And just then, the door behind you opens, and another dwarf walks in, who looks very much like the one that's been sitting in front of you, grilling you with his questions. Only she has a single braid, and her hair is slightly lighter. They're otherwise almost identical. In fact, you could call them identical twins. Possibly this one dyes her hair just to look differently from the other one and braids it differently. She busts in and says, "What is the meaning of this?" And Malgola says, "I don't believe you've been recognized by the chair, Thena. Please have a seat." And you can fairly see Thena's teeth grinding as she bites her tongue and walks over to take the seat next to Malgola. Who is the dwarf you met first?
Oh, you got lied to.
I fucking knew it. Everybody else seemed to be pretty cool that she was just this Thena.
So,
Pretty cool.
Didn't I say this felt too easy?
I just look over at Malgola and I just do that. I just do that. That's all I do. I don't do anything else. Just that.
Thena sits down and raises her hand. And Harmech says the chair recognizes Thena, and Thena like glowers at her sister and then turns to you all and says, "I apologize for my tardiness. I was not informed that there was a council meeting, which I believe is against the rules. This meeting should be adjudicated." And Malgola says, "I did send a guard. After all, here you are. It's not my fault if you are tardy once again." And Harmech says, "You have not been recognized, Malgola. Silence." It's the sternest you've heard Harmech speak so far. Thena says, "I apologize to our guests. Could you please restate your business here?"
Ezra will raise his hand and turn towards Harmech.
Chair recognizes Ezra.
Thank you, Councilman Harmech. Once again, my name is Ezra Briarhip. I'm here with this group of individuals on behalf of the town of Wonder, alongside Lord Protector Zerwin Grumpleforge. We are here to request aid. There is a young adult red dragon named Rhymeroth who's raised an army of about 2,000 draconians. He is planning on sacking the city of Wonder and using the quite rich dragon metal mine there to create war machines. We believe he will then use those war machines to launch a war of conquest against places like Thorbarden, likely Thorbarden first, since it's the nearest large city. We're hoping to use the aid that you might supply in order to stop that, to defeat his army and him before that could happen. Additionally, I would like to recognize that Her Ladyship Malgola mentioned that there are no current treaties or not strong exports tying Wonder to Thorbarden. We're prepared to negotiate such treaties, uh, such trade alliances on the behalf of the town.
Thena says, "Thank you. So, this town, which is already acting as a buffer between Thorbarden's boundaries and the dangers of the outside world, is asking for our help, offering to take the brunt of the punishment in our stead. And all they ask is for us to do our part to help defend our own realm on its borders."
Ezra is going to raise his hand again.
As much fun as I like having with Harmech's voice, in order to speed this up a little bit, let's assume that everyone is recognized. If you raise your hand and I point at you, you can go ahead.
Again, it's not just the city or the town of Wonder that's in danger. We firmly believe that Thorbarden is in danger as well.
Malgola, sorry.
Rhymeroth has procured several skilled, a very skilled. She's a gnome, right? The gnome that we found underground, the inventor.
Anybody remember their name?
I have it written down. I didn't.
Fodleys.
Fodleys, yeah. A gnomish inventor named Fodleys, who he will use to invent these very potent war machines, very intricate war machines, and a metalsmith from Wonder with the capability of actually building them. Again, these are this kind of technology doesn't exist yet, and would be extremely dangerous to your own lands and the city of Thorbarden. I cannot emphasize enough the danger to yourselves in addition to the town of Wonder.
Have you seen any of these war machines?
We saw one invention that Fadelius had
Have
made.
you seen any of the war machines?
No.
Do you even know they exist? I'll take that as a no. How about this? Supposing that this army of 2,000 Draconians makes it so far to this city. Our city has defeated hosts 10 times that number, with dragons. Let them smash themselves on our walls. They won't even get in the city. This is nothing new for Thorbarden. We have faced armies of Draconians and hordes of dragons routinely in history. That's why we have the city the way that it is. There is no real reason to believe anything they said, except for the fact that they've been stealing our metals, giving us nothing for it, and now they're being attacked because they're on the fringes of the Empire. Well, you can't have it both ways. Either you're part of Thorbarden and you get our protection, or you're not and you don't. Athena chips back in after that. These are people who have asked for our help previously, which is why we sent Steelbird, who is now dead, Malgola says, at which Harmach says, "You've had one warning. One more outburst from you, and I will boot you from this meeting." And Malgola sits back in her chair. We sent Steelbeard because we allowed Steelbeard to go, because we knew it was important. We didn't know how big the mines there were, but the last couple letters from Steelbird seemed to indicate that they were much bigger than we thought. We cannot reach those mines from here. We need that foothold in order to have those mines. These people are in danger and they are asking for our help. If our kingdom is going to have a future in which we exist in this land, we cannot continue to isolate ourselves in this hole in a mountain and expect to survive. You don't survive alone, not even dwarves. So the two of them go back and forth on this for a little while. And eventually they Harmach asks if anybody else besides the two sisters have any final thoughts. The scowly dark-haired dwarf says, "Yes, I have one. You said you were willing to negotiate contracts. Is this correct?
Yes.
For the dragon metal?"
For dragon metal, for gold, for silver, there is, which are also present in the mine. In addition, there's a surplus of unprocessed ore, which is ready to be shipped out. It's also there. It's a relatively prosperous fishing village. So if and fruit, wine, beer. There's a number of goods that could be traded in addition to the dragon metal and the precious metals.
Well, I don't see any reason why with a little renegotiation we can't make it profitable to intercede. Then there's some dithering about numbers between everyone. Yeah. Then Harmach says, and from our new guests, does anyone else have anything they'd like to add? Yes, I'm sorry, your name is Geldis, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, Kenda. We haven't seen one of you in the council halls in quite some time.
I'm sure. We have had a lot of my races come down this way. He turns to Zerwin. Can I speak?
Please.
Okay. I just wanted to point out that so Steelbird, you sent him to Hope as a protector of those lands and to monitor the mines, correct?
Are you asking Harmach this?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't speculate on why Grimm made the decisions he made half a century ago.
Well, so he did give his life, and I just wanted to correct that he gave his life fighting a death dragon, not a bone dragon, but a death dragon.
My word.
We found out that there was a death dragon holed up just south of Hope, and we went with him. So no dwarven armies were lost, but unfortunately he did not make it. And that's where we found out about Rhymeroth and found out about all of the Draconians and the bad things that they've been doing. And The Takis has risen. She is behind this and behind Rhymeroth.
Jesus. There's a murmur in the chamber when he says that. How do you know this, young man?
So we've talked to some of the good dragons who are hiding. And Rhymeroth has caught some of them. Takesis is using her magic to create more draconians, just like she did back during the Dragon Wars.
There's another murmur, like, through the council chambers.
Geldis looks over at Zerwin real quick. Can you bring up their former king? Is he in the crown?
I don't. Do you mean put the crown on?
Well, they mentioned they don't know why he made certain decisions. Maybe you could put the crown on and find
No,
out.
Grim is the one that's still alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Grim is the one upstairs who Zerwin and I talked to last time.
Well, I kind of whisper over. I'd rather see where they land before we pull out this crown, because I'm kind of worried that Malgola's just gonna say I should be killed for it.
Okay.
Well, that is disturbing information. You say you've spoken with some dragons that have been kidnapped. Why do they not fight back?
They've been held for a long time. After we secure Thorbardin's help here, we're going to go free them.
Go ahead.
Perhaps you should have the dwarven clerics commune with their gods.
That also creates quite a stir. Okay. They call my God, Harmach indicates that they're going to call for a vote, but he asks that you all wait outside while they do the voting. The guard comes in, the same one that Harmach asked for butter, and you note that he actually never brought food, especially nothing with butter, to Harmach. And he shows you out the front door. When the door is closed, it gets completely silent.
I think Harmach did us a solid and brought Thena in.
Seems like that.
Can we, while we're out here waiting, can we talk about something that's been bothering me?
Don't hit anybody.
Do any of us know anything about tactics, warfare?
I know lots about tactics and warfare.
How to defend a position?
Yeah.
Sieging, repelling sieges. I don't. But one of the things that we might need to do, something that would help us, is trying to figure out what we can do to make Wonder more defensible. What adjustments can be made to improve the defenses of the city? I don't know anything about tactics or siege warfare. I could help you try to convince a noble to lend their nymph concubine, to your noble, but that's about as much as I know about warfare.
Well, Kagan seemed to know quite a bit about warfare, but I can't guarantee when I put the crown on I'll be able to get him back.
That's true. Kigan was very helpful.
Okay. After a few minutes, the doors open again, and the counselors start shuffling out one at a time. They're all talking totally normally now, and none of them seem to pay you a second glance as they file out. The two sisters do not leave, and Harmach does not leave either. Once they all leave, Harmach says, "Come back in, friends."
So we go back in.
They close the door behind you, and the two sisters are now out of their chairs, literally standing on opposite sides of the room with their arms crossed, looking like they're, in a huff. Maybe not the best way to describe it, but they're displeased with life and each other, and it's pretty clearly written on their faces. So, the council was in a tie. I broke the tie in favor of sending aid to Wonder. However, as a concession, and as dictated by our rules, the losing side got to decide who would be in charge of deciding which forces went, and that was Mergola. So, we now have a mediation session. Please state what you need to defend Wanda.
Councilman Harmach, may we have a moment to huddle up and discuss that as a group?
Malgola snorts. A bunch of fucking amateurs. We're gonna put our soldiers in these people's hands. Harmach said, yes, go ahead, fine.
When we huddle up, Ezra's going to say the joke's on her because she is going to. I mean, it's been decided. It's just what she sends.
Yeah, joke's
do we-
on her.
How do we put the crown on? Do we put the crown on now? Probably not. No, I'm getting
I'll put it on if you want, but we'll see how things go. Do you want me to do it? I mean, we got our aid, so if we think the crown is going to get us a better aid, then we put it on.
I mean, it might give us some better information on what we need, but we could also just sit here and be like, we need defense for a siege, and we need as many troops as you can provide for defeating 2,000 draconians and a red dragon, and assume that there wouldn't be that much assistance without it.
Do we know anything, Bill? This is a question for you. Do we know anything about how many dwarves live in the city?
I don't believe anyone did any research on Thorbarden before you came.
Okay.
Why are we going to try and defend the town? Like, why don't we
Because
just let them? There's no way we can hold the town, is there?
people live there and they have
Most of the
homes.
most of the draconians will be on foot. In fact, almost all of them will probably be on foot.
With a dragon?
We don't know that the dragon will be there. It's possible.
We're pretty sure the
He thinks
dragon's
it's
going
going
to
to be
be
the
there.
easiest thing in the world for his army to sack the city.
Well, it's not like a fortress town. I mean, why don't we get them to defend, like, get everybody into the mines or the caves and get the dwarves to defend the mines? That's what they want, right?
Do you think that that's going to be the most defensible position? The problem is that then it really turns into a siege. It'll be harder to repel the army from the caves, I would guess. Again, I'm not a tactician.
Can at least funnel them. I'm not either, so I'm just trying to think what possibly could help.
Let's hold off on putting the crown on. I'm gonna try to ask a few questions. Turning back to the two princesses and Harmach, may we ask about the size of the standing forces that the city has?
Malgola says, absolutely not. And Thena says, yes, of course. At the same time.
Okay. We have attempted to lay out the risks, and in doing so, by laying out the size of the forces that are arrayed or will be arrayed against the city. In doing so, we've attempted to lay out what may be helpful in repelling the attackers. It's approximately 2,000 draconians and an adult red dragon, although he's on the youngish size of an adult dragon. Again, we can offer the ore that's already in place just sitting in warehouses within the city, as well as contracts for a percentage of the future withdrawal from the mine. We can offer seats on the council of the city. I hadn't been aware that it was within what had been the realm of Thorbarden when it was founded. I think that the city would be open to negotiating allegiance, although I don't think that.
The town proper is just outside the border, but the mines run into our land.
I think what we would request is 1,000 to 2,000 dwarven soldiers, in addition to any siege machinery that we might be able to put within the city in order to repel a dragon and any siege engines that they've already manufactured.
I whisper, in healers.
And healers. My colleague Gelidus mentioned the mighty dwarven clerics. Any clerics that could be spared so that we may be able to heal our troops as they become injured in defense of the city.
2,000 is outrageous, Malcola says. Thena says we should be able to do that. Again, they, almost simultaneously. Even if we gave you siege equipment, Malgola says, you wouldn't know what to do with it, and how would you get it there? When is this attack coming? Do you know anything about this attack, other than the fact that there might be siege, like, weapons of war, and there could be 2,000 Draconians?
We believe that the full army will be sent, and it is highly possible that the dragon will be present as well. How long? Approximately 5 days. Probably 4 to 6 days. The attack will happen. In terms of how we would get the equipment there, we have a means of magical transport. We may be able to fit some of the siege equipment through that. Am I wrong about that? No.
I don't know. I'm showing you what their faces are like while you're speaking.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Magical transport.
Yes. Your ladyship, Malgola, you'll be deciding our fates. What would you ask for to be able to spare 2,000 of your troops, ideally your finest troops, although they're all very fine, your dwarven clerics, and any siege equipment that we might be able to use within the city?
What would I ask?
What would you ask? What would you ask?
I would ask that a wonder become an official part of Thorbarden and bound by its laws and rules and acknowledged as a vassal of our kingdom.
Just elbow Ezra.
I don't think that the town would agree to that.
Why are you negotiating with the one person who hates us?
Because she's the one who makes the final decision. They're going to send aid, but she's the one who decides what aid they send. Right, Bill? I heard that correctly?
If what she decides is considered unfair, then we can have another meeting in which the terms that she proposes will be either accepted or declined, in which case they could be renegotiated afterwards if the council decides it's not enough. But for now, she's been appointed the distributor of defenses, as it were, which is her normal title anyway, so it sort of makes sense.
Let's say 1,000 dwarven soldiers and a contingent of dwarven clerics. In exchange for that, we would be glad to extend trading rights, not just for the output of the mine, or at least a good portion of the output of the mine, but also some of the sundries that the town procures from the lake, the fish, from the orchards, and then, of course, the goods that are fermented from those orchards: wine, beer, brandy.
Malgola says, I don't give a fuck about wine and brandy. If it were up to me, we would let the town burn and subsume the mines as our own. It's an illegal town that's been stealing from us for 50 years. But since the council has been swayed by my pathetic sister, I will send you the bare minimum that I think will be accepted by the council. I'll need time to figure out what that is. I've heard your requests. I will return in an hour. And she sort of storms out. Athena, who's white knuckling the hilt of her axe, watches her go. When the door closes, she says, I cannot believe my father thinks my sister should have anything to do with ruling this city.
Your ladyship, may I ask you a personal question?
Yes.
Has your relationship with your sister always been this contentious?
No. No, she wasn't always like this. She was kinder. She was quiet, but it all changed when Mama died. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is who she is now.
Are there any areas where you still see eye to eye?
Not many. We both love father.
How did your mother die?
She took ill.
What was her name?
I don't know. I didn't make her middle name.
All right, doesn't matter.
Hold on. Her name was Gazmira.
Gazmira Coldwind or whatever, Coldhammer?
Yeah, I
Gazmira
think that
Coldhammer.
is that one of the names that we already heard of.
No.
No, I just randomly generated that one.
Okay.
Can I ask what would have happened if they had voted not to help us? Like, would Thena have gotten a chance to do something for our aid? Or is the fact that you let the losing faction decide our aid only when there's a victory?
If you had been denied aid, you're asking Harmach?
Yes.
Well, then the other side would have been able to offer non-soldier aid, as it were, supplies, arms and armor, etc.
Okay.
I must say, Gelidus's mentions of the dragons did tip it into its eye.
Thank you, Galidus.
If it had been up to me, I would have sent much more, but it's not. I must be off. He makes his way out. When he leaves, Thena walks up to you and says, "Whatever she sends with you, it's not going to be enough. Before you leave, whenever you leave, you need to go find Dorna. Speak to Dorna. Tell her why you're here. Do that as quickly as you can. I'll do all I can for you on this side. And I want you to know that when my father dies, should I inherit the sole crown here, Thor Barden will be a different force in the world."
Guard yourself carefully. It's possible your sister could be plotting against you.
She says nothing, but she looks unhappy and walks out. Good luck to you. She leaves the door open when she leaves.
That's not the first that I've heard the name Dorna.
This is an excellent time to take a 5-minute break.
Let's do that instead of talk about Dorna.
So let's take a break, fill your waters and everything else, and I will see you in a few minutes.
I had to jump in there. Couldn't follow Zerwin's rule of not talking.
I'm super glad you did.
That wasn't. Did I have a rule about not talking?
You specifically told me not to talk.
Oh, that's right.
But
that's right. Me. That's right, because they were
Hey,
worried about
Kyle?
killing you.
As a friend, I find the boobs behind your head very distracting.
These ones?
They're well drawn. I just find it a little distracting.
It's just fine art. No,
I know. Your boobs are lovely, Kyle.
Thank you very much.
They're just
they're very much right there, aren't they?
They're right next to your face.
What about just like a back?
Sure.
We'll just make it a back.
It's like another set of eyes.
Yeah. Just watching you the whole time.
I'm the only person who felt that way.
You're not. Actually, in our filter on our preamble, they were the subject of discussion.
Okay.
So you are very much not the only person who's like, what is going on with the background boobies there?
I get it, like boobs are great, but just they're staring at me. Thank you.
What about? That's probably not.
That's not better.
It's not better. None of these are better. You really just got to get to the back.
Yeah. Thanks.
There you go. Much less distracting. You can hardly tell it's a person.
True.
This is what we're going for.
Sorry, hope I don't come off as oversensitive.
No, absolutely not.
I think I have crown on.
Yeah, exactly. I've had moments actually like this is where I do my Zoom therapy, and there are moments where I go like, my therapist's name is Dave, and I'm like, Dave, should I turn the boobs around? And he's like, it's fine, Kyle, but I mean, yes, they're there, and I'm like, maybe I feel a little embarrassed about the boobs. So you're definitely not the only person who's ever been. I am the person. So yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Hey man, we just gotta make it through the world.
Right?
Right? Just people doing weird stuff. hate this Malgola chick.
What the fuck? The 49ers came back?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
This is bullshit. What kind of... I hate everything about this.
Hey, it's okay. They'll make it.
Should have been the Browns. Wait, is that
Should have
AFC?
been Bills and Lions Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll get them next year.
Okay. Right.
That's that way.
You've been... Not for me, it isn't.
I don't know. That doesn't look like a Starbird to me.
You are left. Sorry, I was attacked by a peanut butter cup on the way back. I'm okay, but I need a moment to recover.
Thank
You were
goodness.
left in the... wait, is that a peanut butter cup? No, it's a cookie.
Those are the toffee Oreos.
I got a
These
margarita.
are amazing.
Hey, you turned the boobs around. Were you feeling self-conscious?
You weren't here for our conversation, but Jana shamed me.
Very well.
Shamed seems hard.
Shamed me.
Okay.
She attacked me personally for my art choices.
Yeah. She's like that, isn't she?
Just very up over here.
All right, so you've all been left in the council meeting chambers with the doors open.
This isn't the first time that I've heard that name, Dorna. The full name is Dorna Tripstone. She used to be an advisor for Grimm, the king. So, I haven't talked to you guys about this yet, but when we were in Wonderlast, I did some reading on dragons, focused on silver dragons, but just kind of broadly. There were some other kinds of dragons that came into the reading, and you may remember that we've heard tell of this dragon, the Great Protector. Does that ring a bell? Anyone? No? All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the Great Protector was a brass dragon.
Silver.
Yes, an ancient brass dragon who protected this region for a really long time, but she disappeared. It's presumed that she died of old age. Is it? I shouldn't presume gender. I don't know that I know the gender. And then some other dragons had kind of intermittently gone seeking the Great Protector, trying to find the Great Protector. And there was a specific dragon called Hitherth the Fast, who went on 10 years ago, was trying to find the Great Protector, and was last seen flying south from Thorbarden. She had been in the city doing research. Also, I found, I'm not sure if we all knew this, but dragons can just totally look like people. They often look like really beautiful people or elves. Never halflings. I don't know why not. I mean, we're
Isn't your position
brave
that
and
elves
noble
aren't
people.
people?
There is a different species. Humans, and elves. Two different sorts of peoples. Anyway, now that I've been scolded by some sort of ethereal voice from outside of the game, so this dragon Hitherth the Fast was doing research here, and Dorna may know about what the research was. I'm thinking that if we can figure out what Hitherth was researching, maybe we could find her and get her to help us. But we're just grabbing at straws right now.
Okay, so you're saying that in order to find Dorna, we got to find Hitherith the Fast?
No, Dorna, she resigned from service as advisor, but she's a brewer. She runs a pub in the heart of the city. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm hoping to find her to find... It was the reverse of what you said. I'm hoping finding Dorna will help us find Hitherth.
Yeah, let's do that.
But, yeah. Not right now, probably, because do we think that how far away is the heart of the city? Do you think it's an hour walk?
Let's ask a guard.
Are there any guards?
Oh, yes. There are guards
Pardon me.
everywhere.
Pardon me. How long would it take to get to the heart of the city?
What are you looking for? Depends on where you're going.
The brew pub run by Dorna Tripstone.
Tripstone's Brewery.
Yeah, that one.
It's famous. I don't know, for 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Great.
Do you think would it be improper for us to go there and come back, or should we wait here for the two ladyships to finish their thinking and get back to us?
Did you just say lady ships?
Yeah, there's two of them.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I might not be the best source of propriety questions. I sometimes fart and smell it.
My man.
As opposed to, I mean, wouldn't it be a concern if you couldn't smell it?
No, I mean on purpose, though.
Oh,
Like, I want to see what it smells like.
That's not an unusual thing. We all do that.
does it ever smell like roses?
Right? No. God, no.
No.
That's a
No.
shame.
I gotta
Love
be
roses.
honest. If it ever smelled like roses, you should get that checked.
Yeah. Yep. I will. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's right
I'm a
down
doctor.
right down you go down and he gives you kind of directions. You go down the main road here, and then you take a right and you go down until you see the overhanging thing, and then it's right past that in the alleyway, and there's a big door. You don't see the sign.
I think that me and Gelidus and Jana should go, and you guys should wait here.
Okay. What are you gonna ask her about?
Wonder and Rhymeroth, and how I can get to what's his name? Hephaestus the Swift.
That's the one. You got it. No notes.
What's his name? I know that you're patronizing me.
She's a lady dragon. Her name is Hithurth the Fast.
Hitherith?
Hithurth. Please allow me to spell it for you. It is
Hitherth.
Hitherth the Fast. She's the daughter of. I learned about a bunch of different dragons. It's not totally clear. She's either the daughter of Zixon or Fazanth or the Great Protector.
You're just making up sounds right now.
I know it sounds that way, but it's a whole different language. You know that.
I do know that. Okay, Hitherth.
Hold on. You did the research, so I'm going to give you the answer to the names, but fucking write it down. Zixon, also known as Braveheart, is the brother.
Hitherth's brother?
Fazanth, Protector of Life, is the mother.
Yeah. Okay.
Hitherth, the Fast, is the daughter.
Of Fazanth.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I got the names right here. They're in some sort of direct message. If only there was a term for those kinds of messages. Oh, God. I hate myself so much of the time.
Was it IM? Was it an IM?
Yeah, I think I got it on AOL Instant Messenger, or maybe it was on MySpace.
Somebody could just write me a message so that my away message would show the names of the dragons.
If our loyal viewers don't know what those words mean, just ask someone in their very, very, very late 30s or early 40s.
I can't believe none of my students are watching. There was like 8 of them who were like, I can't wait to win a free book today. Meanwhile, I've got all this
Yeah,
free
they were all
stuff.
Lions fans.
It was a pretty amazing game, gonna be honest.
I've been really enjoying this session. I just want you to know.
All I'm saying is I'm going to Dorna's pub. What's her name? What's the last name?
Tripstone.
Going to Tripstone's. Gonna ask about Hitherth because of Rhymeroth and Fizank.
Yeah, do you want to get a head start on it, and whoever decides to stay, we'll catch up with you after we hear more?
For propriety's sake, like, why don't you stay here with like fart smell, Is it Steve?
Bob.
Anyways, Bob, why don't you stay here with Bob? And me and Gelidus and Zerwin, do you want to come with us? Gelidus, you're coming, obviously. Me and Gelidus and Jana will go.
That
And
means
then the
Owen's
guy,
going. If Galdus is going.
Yeah, Owen goes where Galadus goes.
He's like my shadow. I can't get rid of him.
Yeah, why? Hey, Gelidus, why does Owen do that?
I don't know. Well, he was told to protect me, so he must have made some sort of oath to Solemnus.
Oh my God,
Um,
oaths.
So,
Well, then Jana, maybe you should stay here so that we don't lose 4/6 of the representation. Maybe we just do a half and half splitsies, or
I think maybe we all just make our own choices and go with that. Each
All right,
individual.
I'm not trying to assign things. I'm just suggesting things. I would never tell Jana what to do.
Okay.
All right, so who's doing what?
I'm going to Tripstones. Does anybody want to come with me?
I'm gonna stay and wait.
I'll come with you.
Owen's going.
Oh, and stay here. What happens?
He says no.
He
It
explodes.
says, "Blow it out your ass, Galadus."
For the try.
No, he says something really intense in an English accent about why he must come with you.
Yeah.
I have sworn an oath
Jana,
to
what are you gonna
accompany
do?
thee.
This is getting out of control. Jana, where are you going?
Doesn't seem like it matters.
Matters to me.
See, it matters to Bill.
Zerwin, are you staying or going?
I should probably stay since I'm the Lord Protector. I don't know if the dwarves are going to be very happy if they come back and half of us are gone.
I'll stay. I'll stay.
Okay. Dirk, Geldis, and Owen set off down the road.
Great.
You follow the directions, and on the way, I would like you to roll perception checks. Geldis, you get advantage. Ooh, by the skin of your teeth, Geldis. Okay. Geldis, as you guys are walking, just about halfway, you see to your right that there is a shrine to your goddess.
To Lunatari?
Yeah.
I grab Dirk's tail to stop him.
God, you know I. God damn it! Just
Sorry.
say my name. Just say you know my name.
Dirk,
What?
there's a shrine to Lunatari here, and I would never have thought that the dwarves would have one here. Can I make a quick detour over there?
Is this like a tourism thing?
Well, no. I worship Lunatari. I want to see what the dwarves do here as far as the as far as their worship in the shrine goes. Be very
So it's a
academic.
tourism thing. That's fine. Sure. Yes, yes.
I'll be
Sure.
right back.
Time is not of the essence.
Or you can come with me. I can tell you
No,
all about Lunatari.
Please don't tell me things. Just go and check out your statue.
All right, I'm gonna go and check out Lunatari's shrine.
So as you get up, there's like little stairs leading up to how do I say this? There's like a raised platform, and then you could see to your right the little shrine to Lunatari, and to the left there is a shrine to Solinari. Is that how you say that, by the way?
I think so.
Solinari, yeah, Solinari. So it looks like two of the three moon gods are represented here. They're definitely on the smaller side. And the Solinari one has someone praying at it. The Lunatari one doesn't look like it's used very much. but it is here.
That's a damn shame.
There is some some sort of like dwarven incense burning. So someone has visited it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the person that's over praying or worshiping Solinari? What do they look like? They dwarf?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a younger dwarf actually, and he's on his knees praying. You can't hear what he's saying.
Okay. I'm gonna go back out and grab Dirk. Dirk, come with me real quick.
Yeah, totally.
And I'll bring Owen in because Owen's gonna follow us anyway. If he didn't follow me previously.
He did.
So, Dirk, this may be a perfect opportunity with Lunatari's shrine here. I can cast divination. We just have to we have to make kind of a sacrifice, put some items in and offer them to Lunatari, and then we can ask her a question about one of a specific goal, and she might.
You want to kill that kid?
No, I don't want to kill that kid.
Oh, what kind of sacrifice?
Well, just just relevant items, I guess. She's the goddess of neutral magic.
She's the goddess of relevant items. Cool. I have this whole deck of cards. If I gave one of these cards, could be useful in the future. Does have no.
I mean, one card. The cards. I've got some dice I can toss in there. I just figured while we're here, I can contact Lunatari and maybe get an answer out of for something.
What are you gonna ask?
That I don't know. That's why I brought you in here to ask you as well. We can ask one question.
One question.
Yep, about a goal, an event, or an activity.
A goal, an event, or an activity. So life.
Yes, I guess you could say that.
Okay, cool.
We could ask her a question about trying to find Dorna.
We know where this is a trick. Hey, what about how do we kill Rhymeroth? Could we ask that? Or what's the easiest way to kill 1,000 draconians? 2,000 draconians? What's the best way to defend a town from a siege?
I think we're
Think big here.
Yeah, but we're gonna get cryptic answers, so also think about that. It's the gods. They don't always think the same way we do.
I can be honest. I don't say this to people often, but you got to get better deities. You really do.
Well, maybe you should tell me about your deity sometime.
I will not do that. All right, here we go. Look, you know how to communicate with these things. We have to fight a battle. If you think that we can get good battle information, then we should definitely get good battle information. Other than that, I think we could just follow some directions to Dorna.
What about should we maybe you should ask Lunatari whether we should free the dragons before the fight with Rhymeroth or before the battle?
Yeah. Or what's the best way to rehabilitate a traumatized silver dragon? What's the best? Does your god give instructions? Are we going to get a haiku back? Have you done this before?
I have done this before. It's tough. It depends. It's completely different every time I do it. Sometimes it's it's just a short phrase that we hear whispered in the wind, or we'll see an omen which either bodes well or not so well for whatever we asked.
So what I'm getting from you is you have no idea what kind of question we should ask.
Well, that's why I brought you in here to discuss it. We don't have Ezra.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, hold on. Why don't we just get Ezra for every question that we have? Why don't we just ask Ezra? What does Ezra think?
Well, this is your moment to
No,
shine, Dirk.
yeah, no, I'm shining. I polished up just for this. I just hold. I'm
Look at
just
that coat
taking it
shine.
seriously. I'm just taking it very seriously. Okay. Look, I think that we should ask your. Is her name Janice?
Lunatari.
Lunatari.
Where the fuck
We
did
should
you get
ask.
Janice?
Sorry, I didn't know if Lunatari was just a category and maybe her name was Janice.
Sorry, keep going.
Okay, we should ask. So Lunatari is her name.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Maybe we should ask you, Lunatari, your deity, if he sees a way through to victory or wonder. What do you think?
Can't hurt. I begin casting my divination spell.
Just do
Sound.
it.
Yep. So I start casting. Dirk, you can
What do you
ask
do? What are you doing with your hands? No, not. I'm not asking Lunatari. I'm asking. What is the best way forward for Wonder to achieve victory in the battle against Rymaroth and his forces?
Okay. Dirk, nothing happens.
Oh, Jesus.
There's like a long moment of silence, and Gelidus sort of like stares sort of into the distance for a minute.
Is your deity a nihilist?
So, Gelidus, time freezes, and a red moon appears in the sky, which is weird because you're underground. But the red moon appears, and then it like moves, and like it had been eclipsing the sun, and that sliver of super bright light blinds you for a minute. And when you can see again, there is a woman in a red dress standing in front of you. My child. Finally, after all this time, you've returned home. Well, not your home, but home. I've been watching you. You're a funny one.
It's an amazing journey.
Yes. I'm proud of you. You should know. And there's a lot still ahead of you. But so far, you've done well. Now, I have a lot to say and not much time to say it, so listen closely. I need you to start being more proactive on to fight against this rogue demon and devil. The threat to the balance is severe. Normally I would watch and wait and take no sides, but extreme times call for extreme measures. And this is an extreme time. If this devil and this demon succeed, the balance could be thrown out of whack for thousands of years. We cannot let that happen. The fight starts now and here. It's already going on other places. Rhyme must be killed. His forces must be defeated. And most importantly, the breeding program that she who I shall not name here must be stopped. You won't be able to do possibly all of that, but set the wheels in motion. Dorna knows where Hitherth is. You have to get that information out of her. Malgola will give you the littlest amount possible, but use the ogres to help build shields around the town. Find a way to nullify Rhymeroth's magics. And if you have time, seek aid in the south. And keep your dice. And then with that, she bends over and you close your eyes. And she kisses you on the forehead. And then you are back in real time.
He looks around surprised. Was I out of it for a while there, Dirk?
Out of what? Are you going to ask this, Luna? Are you going to do the thing?
She spoke to me. She apparently didn't
When?
want to speak to you. Just now.
Wow. Okay. First off, don't have to make it personally. Second, what the hell happened?
So she talked to me, and she said that, she kind of said some things we already knew, about like the demon and being bad, and it's going to destroy realms and blow things up and destroy the balance.
Did you say anything about me?
She did. She said that this glorious dragon was going to slay the demon.
I knew it. What else did you say?
That you do need to brush up on your haiku writing.
I don't like 757. I don't like it. Sorry. What were you saying?
So she said we need to do three things. We need to stop the breeding, we need to kill Rhymeroth, and we need to defend Hope. But we probably can't do all three of those.
That's what that was okay.
But she did say that Dorna does know where Hithrith is. So we do need to talk to her now.
Hithrith,
yes.
Hithrith, yes. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to cut back to the other group. Shortly, not nearly an hour, probably 25, 30 minutes later, Athena comes back in. My sister does not want to, or not comes back in, but comes back over to you. My sister doesn't think you're worth any more of her time, but she's given 500 troops. That's the minimum she thought she'd get away with, and I have to say, I don't think the council will back up double that amount. If you want to stay, we could reconvene the council tomorrow and maybe get a couple hundred more, if you want to try to negotiate it. In that 500 will include a dozen clerics.
Thank you.
I'm sorry it's not more, but please go see Dorna. She will want to know. I cannot say anything more about that, but there's one more thing. I would like to shake your hands.
You may certainly shake mine. We are indebted to you and your people. We're very thankful.
She reaches her hand out, and she slides something into your palm when she shakes your hand.
All right. It's been a while since anyone has given me the old palm slide.
Did you say that out loud?
No.
Oh.
That was my internal monologue. It's loud in there. God, it's thunderous.
Then she wishes you the best of luck.
And Athena, are we free to go, or do we need to wait?
They're mustering the troops now. We'll take a couple hours. They should be ready before night.
And they'll accompany us?
Come back to the castle or the palace whenever you're ready.
Thank you.
Ezra, can we go talk to Harmech? I want to ask him about some of the people in the crown. maybe he can help us decipher what some of these people want.
I agree. It's a great idea. Plus, it keeps the party split up.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
So do we have the freedom to walk down the hall towards Harmech's office where we saw him walk out? Or
Yeah.
we should probably ask guard, right? We wouldn't know where he is, or did we kind of see?
You can ask someone; they'll tell you.
All right, so they tell us. So we're gonna head on down to Harmech's.
It's actually closer to the entrance, so it's kind of on your way out.
Okay.
Yeah. You knock on his door. Come in. Oh, it's you. It's his office is enormous. There are books on all the walls. There are books stacked in piles everywhere. There are like papers, like loose papers, parchments, scrolls stuffed into every nook and cranny above every book. There's a massive desk of which you can see none of the surface. Yes, I think there's a chair here somewhere. He's sitting behind his desk in a rather large chair. Hey, come in, shut the door. How can I help you? Fine young people.
Hi, Harmech. I was wondering if we could talk about some dwarven history, some Thorbarden history.
Well, my specialty.
Could you give us some information on what's this crown called? The
Crown of Dwarven Kings.
Is it just the Crown of Dwarven Kings? Is that simple as it is? Could you tell us what you know about the Crown of Dwarven Kings?
Oh, yes. Well, it was a mythical item, lost to history several hundred years ago. I believe it to be real. Most do not. Steelbeard, the late Steelbeard, who you knew apparently was obsessed with finding it, said it would save Thorbarden and the dwarves. It's supposedly...
He said similar things to us.
Yes, supposedly it contains the personalities of every dwarf king in the lineage who was wearing it when they died.
So someone like Helginda Grumbleforged.
Well, yes. How do you know that name?
Well, their name's sort of similar to my name. I didn't know maybe we were related. In the past I've came across the name and was intrigued. Could you tell me about Helginda?
Oh, poor Helginda. Mother killed by her uncle. Luckily, her uncle had no faith in her abilities to ever do anything. She grew up under his rule for many years, which was a bad time for Thorbarden, a dark time. But she was a stronger woman than he thought, and when she came of age, she challenged him to a duel and won, and slew him, and took the crown for her own, and led a resurgence in the city and its peoples and the whole realm. She was a wonderful, strong woman. Unfortunately, her husband was a avaricious, jealous sort, and lost his way amongst some demons or devils. It's hard to say which. He betrayed her and the crown, and slew her and their children, and then he was slain himself by the demons, and the crown passed into antiquity.
Is there a common thread of the dwarven royalty in this city in conflict with itself, making war on itself?
Well, no, not until Donella and Quentin. Before that, the dwarven kings here were mostly, as you'd expect dwarven kings to be, a wide variety of stubborn masochists. But they took care of the people and mined the mountains and built wondrous things, as you can see.
But since Donella...
Sorry?
You go ahead, Zerwin.
Is is the Coldhammer family, descendants of the Grumpleforge family? What happened to Helginda's children?
Well, Helginda's children were killed, I suppose. The record isn't solid on that. Once her husband was slain, and the crown lost, that didn't happen here in Thorbard. It was out, away, and to the south. The records are pretty slim on that. But no, her children all died, so the current lineage is distant cousins. Best claim to the throne and all that. I believe Grim Coldhammer was a good man, though I believe him also to be a little soft. But that isn't necessarily a bad thing in times of peace, which we've largely had.
Since Dernela, has the trend been for there to be more conflict in the royal family?
Well, it's only been a couple of generations since then, so it's hard to pin a trend down.
All right.
Grim's father was a reasonable man.
What about the name Kigan?
Kigan Flatmaul.
That's right.
Well, he's a renowned, famous hero. Everyone knows who Kigan Flatmaul is, anyone around here anyway. Slew a great black dragon. One that had the temerity to try to pull its way into our realm.
Interesting.
Very good warrior. Maybe not the greatest tactician, but a real hero. I'm grateful that you're so curious about all this, but I am curious in turn as to why you are. You're not from here, after all.
I kind of... Could you excuse me for one moment?
Okay.
I turn, I look at Ezra, I was like, should I pull the crown out?
I think you can tell him.
All right.
If we're going to tell anyone, this is the person to start with.
Okay. So I turn around and I reach in my bag, and as I'm pulling the crown, I said, Harmac, what if I told you that Steelbeard was right, and we have recovered Dwarven Crown of Kings?
His eyes grow wide. What?
We found it, and the reason that I know some of the history is that I have communicated with these people, or their souls that have been trapped in the crown.
You have the crown. He reaches out one of his hands. What? But how? Steelbeard was right. Gods.
And Steelbeard actually wore the crown at one point, and so I believe that his soul may still be in the crown as well.
Well, he was a distant cousin. You said you have won the crown.
I have.
And it spoke to you.
Several different people spoke to me. And in one case, that person was able to moderately control my body.
My gods. It's incredible. The knowledge that this crown has. It's thousands of years of history. You must not lose it. You must record everything they tell you. You must hire librarians and scribes. It must be saved. There are gaps in our history that no one can plug, but now you can.
I can, but there are some dangers. In fact, I have spoken to Quentin
Quentin
Sharppick.
Sharppick is in there.
He is. He's terrifying.
Yes, I should say so.
In fact, he wanted me to destroy the kingdom of Thorbarden.
Destroy the kingdom. It's
Burn the city to the
He
ground.
wanted me to burn the city. Which I do not intend to do, by the way.
I should hope not.
We think Derniela may be in the crown as well, although Zerwin hasn't spoken to her.
Correct, and there may be a number of others that I do not know about. I'm still attuning to the crown, and it's risky every time I put it on.
He uses his shaky hand. He pulls off his glasses and sets them down on the desk and wipes a tear from his eye, and then reaches down, and you hear him shuffling through his desk, and then he pulls out an old, dusty, dark bottle and uncorks it, and then shoves some papers around and finds a couple of shot glasses and blows the dust out of one and then blows the dust out of the other and pours a couple of measures of something dark into them and then corks the bottle again and hands you one and then takes the other one himself and with a shaky hand downs it. Oh. Leans back against his chair.
I'll drink it.
Yeah, it might be something like whiskey, scotch, sort of. Dwarven sort of take on that. It's very earthy.
Mm.
Mist.
Now,
this must not fall into Rhymoth's hands. It must not.
I will do my best to protect it. And to be honest with you, I don't know that I want the crown forever. I would love to return it to its rightful home here in Thorbarden.
You could leave it here now. I will take it out. I can't really get anything from it. We'll find someone who can.
I think that this threat, I know you're taking it seriously, but we believe that the entire world is in danger if Ramroth is able to take this town. And I think there are people in the crown who can help us in the upcoming battle. So, but I promise if we are successful, I will return it.
Even if we're not successful, we'll do everything we can to get the crown back here.
Do you think with this information we could possibly get additional troops? Or is Margola, or would we not leave here alive if we brought this up?
It's possible Margola would have you jailed. Thena, neither of them believe. It's possible they just wouldn't believe you. In fact, I think that might be the most likely outcome. If anything, Margola might have you secretly killed.
Okay. Well, is there anything you could tell me about why Quentin would want to burn Thorbarden to the ground?
Anything that Quentin can't have for himself, he wanted to destroy. And I also think he liked hurting things. It certainly happened a lot in his life. He used to torture people for no real reason. I don't like to recount many of the stories of Quentin Sharppick.
All right. Well, I won't ask you to recite them.
Is Dalamuk in there? Have you met anyone named Dalamuk?
I have not.
Well,
is there anyone that you met that you haven't known the name of when you met them?
I met Jessam Stevenson.
Jessamar.
Jessamar, yeah.
Yeah. Poor man was slandered by history, but is actually, if you dig deeper, you find he was quite a good man. More of a gentle soul. Very knowledgeable and smart. Dalamuk Angryhammer is perhaps the finest tactician the dwarves have ever known. However, he lost much in his life, and had only a single child survive. 3 of his children and his wife were all killed, and sort of died a recluse. If anyone can help you, though, that would be one. Kigan might prove useful, although he'll almost always advise the straightforward smash things with a hammer.
Okay.
I would say a Mabrotum Grimacer. That's another good one to think about. Sorry, I screwed those up. Dalamuk Angry Hammer is not the one. Mabrotum Grimacer is the one that is the spectacular tactician who had a very hard life.
Malabrook?
Mabrotum.
Mabrotum. Yeah, that's
Mabrotum Grimacer. Dalamuk Angry Hammer was a good defender of dwarven kind. If he's there, Weaver Warmtoe.
We've met Weaver.
Yeah, he's quite a personality.
Yes.
I like to drink that one, if I remember correctly.
He does.
Yes. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I don't know what to do.
Nothing. Hold tight. If there's anything you can do to help our cause, whether it's, through the political channels or through back channels, we would, very much appreciate it. And I promise that when this is all done, we will return the Dwarven Crown of Kings to its rightful place here in Thorbarden.
I believe you. It is the greatest treasure a historian can think of. Please, please, do what you can.
Will do. All right. Ezra, should we go catch up with the other group real quick? Can we do that quickly?
Back to Dirk and Gelidus. You guys there?
Super far ahead. There's no way you're going to catch up with us.
Yep.
Jana's going to catch up to you. She'll catch up to you very quickly, and then we'll be right behind her.
You can't just catch up because Jana catches up. That can't be the rule.
We know. We know what we're looking for. We just have to ask around.
So Dirk and Gelidus, assuming you continue on afterwards, do you?
We do.
Yeah, we're going to Dorna.
All right. So Tripstone Brewery. You find it. It looks like, all right, so you have to go like into like this alley, almost like a speakeasy, except there's a huge sign. So it's not really a speakeasy. And you can't, there's no windows, and there's just one giant studded oaken door with one of those slot things.
Mm-hmm.
It's closed.
So
The door is
I
closed,
lift Gelidus up. And I'm like, open the slot thing.
You can't open. The whole point of a slot thing is you can't open it from the outside.
Yeah, there's nothing for me to open it on the side.
We'll talk to it.
I knock on the slot.
It slides open, and it's not that tall. It's dwarf height, right? So you're basically tall enough anyway. It slides open, and there's a pair of eyes on the other side. Hey,
We're here for some drinking. Can we come in?
hey, come on in. The door opens, and once the door opens,
I lean over to Gelidus and I go, how did you know the password?
It works at every dwarven tavern.
Amazing.
There's a like fire red mohawked dwarf with tattoos all over his arms, and on the sides of his head behind the door when he opens it. And when he opens it, the noise spills out into the alleyway. There's probably 50 or 60 dwarves in here, of various ages, genders, appearances, and they're all just, there's like songs being sung. There's like, oh, like it's only beer, right? There's nothing else being drunk, but there is a lot of beer. There is a ring in which two people are wrestling, almost completely naked. They only have like loincloths out. There's a
They only
small
have blindfolds on.
there's a stage, which has a couple of instruments that nobody's playing at the moment. There's a big long L-shaped bar that is in one corner. There's lots of tables and things, and the guy who's at the door says, come in, have a drink." He goes right to the bar, and then he slaps you on the shoulders as you walk in. No weapons and no fighting with those weapons. You can fight otherwise if you like. Join the wrestling ring if you like. And then he closes
Turn
the
to him,
door.
I go, what about you? Can I punch you in the face?
Yes,
Ah! I had to give him a little.
but
good
I'm
jump
gonna
on the
punch you
chin.
back.
Ah, do it right there. Right there. Give me a good one. Give me a good one.
All right. Okay.
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna have to roll for damage now, aren't I?
Nope, I'm rolling for damage. You take 8
Okay.
damage as he cracks you in the jaw unbelievably hard and sends you right on your ass.
Oh, that's good. That was a lot. That hurt a lot. You
Hey,
punched really hard.
you're welcome.
Thanks. I feel like I belong here now.
That was a good roll. That was his max roll. Sorry, Kyle.
Yeah. I lean over to Gellis and I'm like, no more fake punching with dwarves.
Why I didn't offer?
Is it not you? I'm just saying, you have to help me.
You want me to tell you not to do certain things?
Yes.
Ah!
I remember that.
Is that not friendship? What is kinder friendship?
Well, we're all about experiencing various things.
I just experienced something.
You did. A dwarf from Kryn, and how hard they punch.
It was pretty good. Who do you
I'm gonna
think
re-
we should ask about Dorna? Should I go back to that guy who punched me in the face?
Why don't we ask the bartender? And buy
Okay,
2
we'll
drinks
ask
at the same time.
The
3,
That's
because Owen's
good.
with us.
the bartender. There are 2 bartenders actually. One of them
Ooh.
is a stout, older dwarven man. His hair has gone gray on the sides, and he's like, uproariously laughing while he dishes out beers, and not very fast, right? Like stopping to listen to stories and like really kind of personable and chumming it up. And the other one is a young dwarvish woman, and she is working her tail off, like just working the taps and like bustling around and not talking to anyone except for to like ask them what they want, like the kind of no bullshit bartender that's working their ass off in an overcrowded place.
So I lean over to Gelidus. I'm like, she's too busy. You don't want to piss her off. How far away is the old man? Can I get in his like shouting in a bar range?
Yeah.
So I go, hey, looking for Dorna?
So your mic when you yell automatically dampens it, which is really nice, by the way.
Hey.
All right, hold on. Sorry. Okay, so you yell, you're looking for Dorna?
I'm looking for Dorna. Also, I need 2 beers. Gallus said,
Yeah, the bathroom's over there, but I'll get you your beers.
"No, Dorna!
Oh, doorknob?
Dorna!
Oh, Dorna.
Dorna!"
Dorna, yeah, she owns the place. He turns around and grabs you your beers.
Where is she?
Where is who?
Dorna!
Oh, she's in the back. She's always in the back.
Over there?
He points like behind the bar. You see there's an office door that's closed. He slams a couple mugs of beer down. And then like looks at you like, okay, now it's time to pay me.
Gallus!
I'll pay him. I'm sure I've got some Krinish money.
I have to investigate a mystery. I give him a beer. I walk around over to the office door, and I try to find the midpoint between like a angry knock, but a like knock that no one would hear. So I just give it like a just a dunk.
You know what? Why don't you roll for that?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll for that.
Why don't you roll?
What
you're
is
trying
that?
to. I don't know. It's a perception. You're trying to perceive what the proper level of banging on something would be.
10.
Yeah, you fucked that up.
Was it too light? Was it too strong?
It was you. There's no answer, so it was probably too light. This is great.
If I can get over there.
You gotta knock on this door. I can't do it. I don't know if it's like magic.
I go over to the door.
Okay, hold on.
Is it a regular door?
Yeah, it's an office door. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Ezra, Jana, Zerwin, you've all made it to the alleyway as well.
I knock on the door.
Slot slides open. Hey.
Hi, we're looking to have a few drinks.
Come on in. The door opens up, and you see the same mohawked, red-haired dwarf.
Do I see them walk in? Can I roll perception for them seeing them walk in?
Oh, you have your back turned towards them, so no. But the three of you...
I can't even roll?
I just don't think it's... I mean, go ahead and roll. If you roll a nat 20, I'll say you notice it. So the three of you definitely notice Dirk, though, because he stands out like a sore thumb in this crowd. And Owen, who's also much taller than everybody else here. But the same description applies. You see that Gelidus, Dirk, and Owen seem to have been stymied by a door that they're all standing around.
We make our way over there.
Hey, fellas, what's going on with this door? And John.
They don't hear you.
Punch that guy with the mohawk. Don't punch him.
You got it.
Unless you're
What's going on with the door?
Dirk can't figure out how to knock.
I can't hear you when you talk like that in here.
Is it all patrons around, or is there like any service staff?
There's two bartenders.
He's doing a special
They're behind the bar.
Yeah, Gallus does a special knock.
Why are we trying to get through the door?
Because Dorna's in there.
Okay, Gelidus, you knock.
I do a special knock. You know, like a dot 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 dot.
Does he have to roll perception?
Is it that one? Is it that one specifically, or is it just something like that?
Something like that.
All right.
Yeah, there's not shaving a haircut in this universe, but the Dungeons and Dragons equivalent, which would be like a descaling and a claw trim. ...
Okay. The door swings open, and there is a older dwarven woman there. What? She looks at the three of you, and it's actually the six of you, and it's like, what?
Who are you?
Yeah.
Are you? We have really important questions to ask you. Can we bring beer into your office?
Who the fuck are you?
Sorry.
What?
My name is Dirk, and
What?
these are my name is Dirk, and my colleagues and I look over at Ezra and I go, comrades, we are from Wonder, and we are on a very important mission.
Is
And
it to get beer?
I know. I
No.
yell. We. Thena sent us.
I was getting to that. I was getting to the part. Thena sent us. Do you know where Hitherth is?
She motions you all to come in.
Cool.
When the door closes, it is much less loud. This office is spotless. It's pretty large. It is incredibly well organized. There is nothing out of place. It looks like she was reading some ledgers when you knocked on the door. There is a pencil and a book and a bunch of scribblings and markings on it. There's
I
only
lean over to Owen and I go, I feel really bad bringing beer in here now.
Oh, it's fine. Come in. There's only 2 chairs, so most of you will have to stand. She walks over back behind her desk and sits down, leans back in her chair and says, "Okay, you spoke to Thena, and she sent you to me. Why?"
Well, we are from a town called Wonder, which is nearby. And there's a dragon, Rhymeroth, who wants to attack it to get all the dragon metal that's underneath it. We're trying to recruit some assistance in order to protect this town from one called Wonder, because we collectively believe that if Rhymeroth
Did you say
takes over,
wonder?
yeah, Wonder. So, oh, I didn't tell you. This guy right here, his name is Zerwin Grumpleforge, and he has a hat. Sorry, it's a crown. But he's very special, and he's the Lord Protector of Wonder.
No,
He
he's
should
not.
probably be.
Steelbeard's the Lord Protector of Wonder.
So Steelbeard died and said that.
Okay, stop.
Zer-
Everyone make perception roll.
there it is, 24.
Yeah, dirty 20.
Look at those fucking rolls, you guys.
Holy crap.
Jana just understood everything that's happening in
Yeah.
the future.
Jana just saw the curvature of the earth.
Zerwin, your roll. Oh, there it is. Wow. Okay. First of all, everyone succeeded. So everyone has noticed that when you said Steelbeard died, there was a definite change in her demeanor. Let's see, Ezra, that change is a mix of shock and sadness. Dirk, there was almost certainly a personal relationship between this woman and Steelbeard. And Jana, they were almost certainly lovers. Steelbeard's dead.
Sorry, that was abrupt. I should apologize. We've been in a state of emergency for quite some time. Yes, Steelbeard valiantly
She stands up
assisted us.
and walks. There is a window in this office. She stands up and walks over to the window and stares out into the wherever it is that she's looking. Son of a bitch. I fucking told him. I fucking told him.
What did you tell him?
She turns back after a moment and seems to have composed herself a little bit. There's a tear running down her cheek. told him that if he left here, he'd never come back. Okay. How did he die?
Well, there was a death dragon in the mines underneath, under, and he
Ruins.
helped us.
Ruins south of Wonder, but Dirk is right. There was a death dragon. We accompanied him.
In the mines or not in the mines?
It was not in the mines. It was in ruins to the south of Wonder.
Oh my god!
He went to fight this dragon?
Yes, with us, we were all collectively there.
We were actually searching for the crown of the Dwarven Kings.
Oh, that fucking thing. He's been searching for that fucking thing his whole life.
Yeah. Well, he was successful.
What do you mean he was successful? He's dead. He was not successful.
That's true. I shouldn't have spoken out of turn. Zerwin, what do you think about his success level?
He found the crown of Dwarven Kings and he put it on.
Oh. Well. Thank you. I'm glad that he found what he was looking for.
Jorna, I don't mean to interrupt a very difficult moment for you. We are in a bit of an emergency. Wonder is in danger, and Steelbeard was attempting to protect it. We are trying to track down some, a dragon that we think you might know where it is. Does the name Hither mean anything to you?
Her eyes narrow. Yes. She was here.
So, we're in a pretty serious situation with another dragon named Rhymeroth, and we have reason to believe that Hitherth may be able to assist us in defeating or defending Rhymeroth, or defending
Defending
Wonder from Rhymeroth.
If
Thank
Wonder
you,
falls,
Ezra.
Thorbarden could be next, and likely would be.
Yeah.
We know that Hitherth was here researching 10 years ago, approximately 10 years ago, likely researching related to the Great Protector, although my understanding is you might know what Hitherth was researching specifically. We're hoping you might be able to put us on the trail of where to find Hitherth and ask for aid in defending the City of Wonder and killing the Red Dragon, Rhymeroth. The Death Dragon that we killed with Steelbeard's assistance was Rhymeroth's brother.
Hitherth has been on a quest to locate the Great Protector since the Great Protector left. We did what we could to help her. We got along, she and I. At the time, I was an advisor to the king, and I spoke with her at great length. She's young and impressionable, but has a good heart. I think she feared for the safety of the mountains, feared that something like Rhymeroth would come along, and now it has.
You know where she is?
No.
Do you know how to contact her?
No.
You have no notion of how we may get in touch with Hitherth at all.
don't know. Go try to find her in the mountains somewhere.
The last that we knew, she was flying south from here.
Sounds right.
Why are you no longer an advisor for the king?
I retired when he gave power over to his daughters.
Do you not trust them?
That Malgola one, isn't it?
I was not needed anymore since the sisters had their own advisors.
So was your retirement your choice, or were you nudged into retirement?
No, 100% my choice.
Do you have? Are you in communication with any other dragons, or was Hithirth the only one you were in contact with?
No, I'm not a big communicator to dragons. This one literally wandered into my life and we became friends.
Dorna, do you want to help us defend Wonder?
I don't know. Yes, no. It's complicated. Steelbeard. Part of me hates Wonder and hopes it burns to the ground. It took Steelbeard from me and never brought him back. He seemed to care more for what was out there than he did for what was here. And I loved him, the goddamn fool.
Steelbeard was fighting to protect people that he cared about. Steelbeard was a good being.
Yeah, he was.
And I think his memory is worth honoring. And I think that's what, at least part of what, my comrades and I are doing. And I think it would mean a lot to him if you felt so inclined as to assist us in protecting those people that he grew to love so well.
Our Kender cleric, Gelidus, as promotions to Gelidus, believes that a draconian breeding program that existed in the past and was a threat to the realm may have restarted under Rhymeroth. He has an army of 2,000 draconians, and he's breeding more. We met a young silver dragon who he had enslaved and was using to breed draconians. We're hoping to free them. We're hoping to find any metallic dragons we might be able to find to help us to defeat him and stop this, because it is a danger to all of Kryn. It's vital that any information you have, any aid you might be able to give us, is absolutely vital in stopping this.
I can see it's the right thing to do. I just want to talk to him again. Just want to know what he was thinking and why.
Ezra's gonna look at Zerwin and say, how tuned in do you feel?
Well,
Look, I can't speak. Did
Oh my
Think
god!
hard.
Did you get that just for this? That's amazing. Look
Zerwin,
at that.
Think hard about trying to reach out to Steelbeard specifically, man.
Look at that fucking dwarven crown. Oh my god. That's amazing. Okay. All right. All right, Zach. I want you to roll a d10.
A D10.
Yep.
Right.
And I'm gonna roll a D10.
Dude, my rolls are super slow right now. I don't know what's going on here. We got too many of these open.
Oh yeah, it's not showing us.
It's
This question is a question mark.
Oh, I think I rolled a 10.
You
Nice.
did. You got a
Okay.
10.
I don't know if that matters. Bill's just making this shit up as he goes along. So
Wasn't it bad when you rolled a 10 last time?
It was.
yeah. Well, the numbers change. He changes the numbers for people.
Only at the beginning of the session. All right. Okay. No, but in this case, that's great. The two of you together needed to reach a certain number for the willpowers to manifest, and indeed, the voice of Steelbeard comes to your ears. There's that moment, as there always is, of the sound of something in like the base of your skull slowly coming towards the front of your brain. Only this time you recognize the presence. It's friendly and it's familiar. And you hear Steelbeard say, Dorna.
Am I? Sorry, go ahead.
She's beautiful.
I'm like my frozen time is. I'm back to normal speed, right?
Yeah, it comes after he says that. It comes back to him. You feel a really powerful urge to reach out and touch her face, which you think would be highly inappropriate right now.
Yeah.
But that's definitely Steelbeard.
Dorna, this is the Crown of Dwarven Kings, and Steelbeard died.
Sorry, I could take that off. Okay, go ahead.
And Steelbeard wore this, helping us destroy it, a death dragon. And now his soul is bound to the crown. And I know it's hard to believe, but he can actually see and hear you right now. I am attuned to the crown and am communicating with him, and he can see everything that I see.
Dorna stands up from behind her desk and slowly walks over to you. She's looking you dead in the eye the whole time. And she gets pretty close. Her face is like, this far away. And she's looking up in your eyes. Krana, is that you? If that's really you, where do we meet? Steelbeard says, we met in the graveyard. I was there for my mother.
I say, we met in the graveyard. I was there for my mother.
Her eyes get wide. She leans back a little bit. Then her eyes get turned and she reaches out and fucking slaps you in the face. Like, just cracks you right in the jaw.
Goes around and around.
Son of a bitch.
Do I take damage?
No.
Okay.
You
That's
fucking
damage from
left
the
me
gut.
here. You fucking left me here. You left me here with all this fucking shit and no one to talk to and no one to trust and nothing. There was nothing here. It was just me and you were all I fucking had. You were all I fucking had. And she like sort of sobs and she like lets her forehead fall onto your chest, Serwin. And she like hammers at your chest for a minute and then for a second she just cries and then she pulls it together and she looks back up into your eyes and says, I loved you. I always loved you. And Steelbeard says, I love you too, and I always will.
He said he loves you too, and he always will.
Tell her I'm sorry. Tell her I'm sorry about everything, but that we found it. We found it, and it's here, and it can save us. It can save her, and it can save everyone. Tell her My life wasn't a waste.
Okay, I repeat that to her.
She wipes away some tears. All right then. You found it. And now? Now what? Steelbeard says. Tell her to rally the cousins.
Steelbeard says, rally the cousins.
To fight this dragon and his army? Is that what we're doing?
Yep.
Okay. She turns away. And she walks back to her desk. And she, for a second, she puts her head down and her hands are resting on the top of the desk. She takes in a deep breath and she like roars and flips the desk over. And like heaves it up, and it's like this huge explosion of papers and everything. And underneath the desk, you see that there was a trapdoor, and it's a big one. And she slowly hauls it back, and it's just full of arms and armor, swords, axes, hammers, maces. Um, she reaches down and grabs a jewel encrusted mace. She walks over to the door and she throws it open. She run jumps on top of the bar, reaches over with her mace and slams it down and smashes a bunch of glasses, and the whole room goes dead silent, and everyone turns and looks at her, and she looks around at the room and gives it a slow scan with her eyes, and then she raises her mace in the air and says, "Cousins, we go to war to avenge the death of Steelbeard." And the whole bar fucking erupts. And it's just like this screaming roar of like dwarven fury and rage and exultation. And everyone starts running in the office and grabbing fucking arms and armor and fucking just screaming and yelling. The guy who was at the door previously throws all the locks on it, and the guy behind the bar turns to the young woman behind the bar, and he grabs her in a hug and picks her up and like kisses her forehead. And several people on their way past you like slap you on the back. One of them like grabs Gelidus in a big bear hug and like swings him around. And that's where we're going to end for tonight, in the exultation of the cousins.
I turn to Gelidus and I go, "Wait, they're all related?"
It's good.
Got me.
That's a good place to end for tonight, with the exaltation of the cousins, who you will learn more about in the future, I am now certain. Well done, everybody, tonight. And let's do a couple of things first. We're going to think about Danger Awesome points, and in the meantime, next weekend is my birthday, so obviously we won't meet then. But does the 11th work for everybody?
Super
No,
cool.
I'm gonna be in California.
I mean, I could do the 4th, actually, but the problem is we won't get the other Kyle because he can only do every other.
Yeah.
But I really don't want to wait until the 25th. So it's like a whole month before we meet again. So, what's everybody else's status? It is the Super Bowl. I don't give a
No,
shit about the
the
Super Bowl.
11th. The 11th is the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sorry. Well, I can't do the 11th anyway. I'm going to be the other
I'm
side
pretty
of the
open.
country.
I can make pretty much anything work.
The 11th is better than the 4th for me.
All right. I'll tell you what. We will use this Discord to put up. I'll make a scheduling text channel and invite you all to it, so everybody can put their stuff in. But we'll find the one over the next couple Sundays that works best for everyone, or maybe we'll have to do a Friday or Saturday for once to get things working. But we'll see. So I'll put the scheduling up there for now. Tentatively, we'll say the 11th, and we'll try to find the date that works for the most people. Okay. Moving on from that, danger awesome points.
Dirk gets my danger awesome point for his role playing and getting punched by a dwarf, and then being surprised that the dwarf punched him.
That's pretty good.
I was gonna give mine to Galidus for role playing with Dirk and also having a run in with the Divine.
I'm gonna give mine to the only nat 20 of the night. So Jana is gonna get mine. Gotta have a good roll here and there.
It is pretty awesome to have a good roll.
I'm going to give mine to Galidus, too.
I'll give mine to Ezra for keeping shit on the rails.
You guys got a lot done tonight. This is the most productive session we may have ever had.
Feeling pretty good about what we accomplished tonight, guys.
Yeah. And I also need you guys to start keeping track of the forces that you have, because you keep asking me every time. So do that.
How many cousins were there, or don't we know yet? We don't know if this is all the cousins, right?
Right. You got to wait for that.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to stop the stream now. But this was an excellent session. I had a ton of fun